This tiny island on the western side of the Antarctic Peninsula is home to an unlikely amenity.
And there's our postmaster, Claire, with her bags of mail ready to go.
26 kilos.
Yep, that's right. Those are big bags of mail, and this is a very cold and very, very, very remote post office. It's part of a heritage site at Port Lockroy Harbour, the UK's first permanent Antarctic base, which has been a refuge for explorers, scientists and tourists for more than 75 years. It also includes a living museum and gift shop. Every year a small team is selected to run and maintain the site from November to March, or summertime in the southern hemisphere. They live in close quarters in a wooden hut with no internet access and no running water. Oh, and did we mention the penguins? Let's just say they can get a little pungent. Training for the team begins over 8,000 miles away during British summertime. But who would really want a job like this?
I think the title was like, want to go to Antarctica and count penguins? And I was like, absolutely I do. I've worked in retail for 15 plus years, and then when I looked at the job description for the shop manager, I was like, oh, actually, I'm quite qualified for this role.
You're living, working on top of each other all the time, and there's nowhere to go. So this is what this weekend's all about. There's a bunk room, they're all living for the weekend on top of each other, and we're trying to kind of emulate that a little bit.
I got pretty invested in it, so a lot of my procrastination for my exams was spent watching videos about Port Lockroy and Antarctica. When I got the offer for the job, my first reaction was like, no way. Yeah, to have it as a job straight out of university is just a dream come true.
I've known about Port Lockroy for a long time, and I have serious concerns that the glaciers and this landscape won't be there for much longer, so I felt that the imperative to get out there and experience it for myself as soon as possible.
At a certain point in the season, the snow goes and it's not mud. There's no mud in Antarctica, it's all guano.
I think Antarctica is one of those places that very few people are ever going to actually go there, so to have the opportunity to go for such a long period of time and work there, like, why wouldn't you go for that opportunity?
After saying their goodbyes, the journey to Antarctica begins, usually taking days and including several flights and a boat trip.
So we've arrived at Port Lockroy and there's penguins everywhere. I've just finished excavating a window. I'm basically level with like the top of the roof of the Nissan.
Once they've settled in and met their new neighbours, the real work begins. Over 5 months, the team will welcome thousands of tourists, not only making sure their postcards arrive safely, but explaining the naval and scientific history of this base over the years. They'll also monitor the penguin colony, do important maintenance work on the huts, and spend a lot of time together.
In some ways it is bonkers looking after heritage in this incredibly difficult environment, but it's very important, and we're representing and telling a story of a period of Antarctic history that is little told. Antarctica is like nowhere else on Earth. It is extraordinary. The scale of it, it's so pristine, the air is so clear. Suddenly you feel very small.